Ever get that, like, flutter in your chest when your best friend walks in the room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're diving into all that today.
You got
That whole catching feelings for a friend thing.
Yeah.
You sent over this outline for a podcast series about it,
Mm.
and whew, let me tell you, it gets real.
It's wild, right? Like how common this whole experience is.
Right.
But it feels so loaded.
Oh, yeah.
Excitement, fear, the what ifs.
Totally.
This outline really digs in, though. Not
Mhm.
just the emotions, but like actual steps to navigate this whole thing.
It jumps right in. Episode 1 is all about recognizing that shift.
Okay.
Going from just friends to, wait a minute,
Yeah.
have you ever, like, found yourself wanting to hang out with one friend way more?
Definitely.
Or feeling a little jealous, maybe, when they're dating someone new?
The outline talks about those as like emotional red flags.
Oh, interesting.
Like they're a sign.
Okay.
Something's changing for you, even if you're not saying it out loud yet.
But feelings aren't always facts, right?
Exactly.
So how do you tell the difference between a little crush and something more serious?
It's tricky, for sure.
Right.
It's not like your friend's going to show up wearing a I Heart You t-shirt.
Yeah. Huh. Though that'd make things easier.
Right. The outline suggests looking for subtler things, though.
Like what?
More physical contact. Maybe they touch your arm, and it lingers a little too long.
Ooh, okay.
Or how about their eyes? Do they look at you differently now?
It's like we're all detectives
Like
trying
that.
to crack the code of attraction.
Exactly. But this outline, it also talks about something else.
What's that?
The big fear.
Which is,
Ruining the friendship.
oh, 100%.
That's huge.
Have you ever felt that?
Of course. Like, admitting your feelings could jeopardize the whole thing,
Right.
and society doesn't make it easy.
What do you mean?
It's like, there's this rule.
Yeah.
Friendship, romance, you got to pick one.
Oh, interesting.
But in reality, a strong friendship can be an amazing foundation for something more.
That's true. Shared history, understanding.
But also, what if it blows up?
There's always that risk, yeah.
So let's say you're ready to take that risk.
Okay.
You've done the detective work, you've faced the fear.
Yeah.
How do you actually say something?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right. And this outline seems to get really real about having that conversation.
It does. Honesty, vulnerability, those are key.
So no grand gestures then.
Not according to this, no.
Bummer.
Hmm.
But seriously, how does the outline suggest approaching this?
It's all about clear communication, but in a way that feels safe and respectful
Okay, I like that.
for both of you.
Makes sense.
So think calm, setting
Coffee.
a walk, just hanging out at home,
Gotcha.
somewhere you can talk openly without pressure.
Okay, so no big I love you speeches in crowded restaurants.
Probably not the best idea, no.
But really, what kind of things should you keep in mind during this conversation?
This outline is big on being direct, but also being super aware of their reaction.
Right, because
This is new for them, too.
don't expect an immediate answer, or even that they'll feel the same.
Oh, good point.
It's about being brave enough to speak your truth and then giving them space to process theirs.
It's like hitting send on a super important email.
Oh, tell me about it.
You're just waiting, hoping for a response.
And this part of the process,
Yeah.
episode 6, it sounds like it's all about navigating those big feelings no matter what happens.
Because it could go either way, right?
Totally.
Real life isn't a rom-com, unfortunately.
Right.
You could end up with a love story or a friendship in crisis mode.
The outline really stresses the whole manage your expectations thing here.
Which makes sense.
Like you've been vulnerable, put it all out there.
Yeah.
But now, it's up to them how they feel.
Okay, so patience is key. But what about the actual friendship? Can you even go back to normal after a conversation like that, especially if they don't feel the same way?
This outline is really big on the whole friendship is resilient thing.
Okay, but
It even says that most of the time you can salvage the connection.
phew, that's reassuring.
Might take some time though.
Right, of course.
Honest talks, maybe even a little space.
Like a reset button?
Kinda. But the key throughout, still communication.
This outline really hammers that home, huh?
It does. It even gives tips for like rebuilding if romance is off the table,
Such as?
owning those awkward feelings, but not dwelling on them.
Okay.
Maybe taking a break for a bit, then starting slow.
Low-key hangouts, easing back in.
Exactly.
So you're not jumping right back into, like, best friend brunch.
Probably not the best move, no.
This outline's like a gold mine of advice. But I'm curious, what if the feelings are mutual? How do you go from friends to more than friends?
Episode 8 tackles that head on. and it's surprisingly upbeat. It
Oh,
basically says that foundation you already have.
yeah.
Huge advantage. You know each other's quirks. You've got that shared history.
Plus, no more awkward first dates.
Right. Imagine skipping all that.
Bliss.
But
Hmm.
even with a solid start, communication is still key.
Makes sense.
Setting boundaries, being clear about what you both want.
It's like you're building a relationship, but from a different starting point.
Exactly. Which also means things will change, so you got to be on the same page about that.
Now, what about the flip side? Feelings not reciprocated. Ouch. Right.
Episode 9 dives into that, and it's all about self-care.
Because that stings.
Big time. Especially when it's someone you care about.
It's like double the heartbreak.
Right. So they talk about journaling, leaning on other friends,
Okay, good advice.
rediscovering hobbies you love, things like that.
It's so easy to fall into that self-blame spiral.
Oh, totally.
But this outline, it's like a reminder to be kind to yourself no matter what.
Exactly. Your feelings are valid.
Love that. So how does the outline wrap up all this emotional roller coaster stuff?
Episode 10. It's a breath of fresh air, all about new beginnings.
I like that.
Whether you're starting a relationship or just, starting fresh on your own.
It's all part of the journey, right?
Exactly. Even the messy stuff.
And sometimes those what-if moments teach you more than you'd ever expect.
100%.
Makes you think about your own friends, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Ever looked at one and thought, maybe there's something more there.
Most people have been there at some point, I think.
Right. And this outline, it's so honest about it.
Refreshingly so.
Like, it's okay to feel unsure
Yes.
or vulnerable even.
And to take a chance, even if it's scary.
Isn't that what it's all about, though?
Totally.
Learning, growing, all that good stuff.
Whether the romance works out or not,
Right.
that experience, it's valuable in itself.
100% agree.
It teaches you about you,
What you want, what you won't settle for.
boundaries, all of it.
This whole deep dive, it's been amazing. We've gone from decoding secret signals
Uh-huh.
to having the conversation
The big one,
and then figuring out what happens after.
happy ending or a tough lesson.
But through it all, this outline, it really stresses communication,
So important.
being respectful to yourself and the other person.
And honestly, that friendship itself, it's stronger than we sometimes give it credit for.
Right. It's not always doomed if romance doesn't work out.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need a pause, a little space.
To find your footing again.
It's like that saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Love that one.
But even if you miss, well, you still learned something, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about the journey.
Exactly. This whole outline, it's like a roadmap for one of life's trickiest situations.
For sure.
So before we wrap up, we want to leave you with this. Think about your closest friends.
Ooh, good one.
Any of those relationships ever venture into what-if territory?
It happens.
What advice would you give someone trying to figure that out?
Yeah, let us know. We love hearing from you all.
Until next time.